ago, Julie Dwyer capped off her outstanding rookie year in the SEC with Freshman of the Year honors. Dwyer has backed that up with a sensational sophomore year, including 3 consecutive all-around titles. Today, Dwyer and the Auburn Tigers host the Florida Gators. Rhonda Fain leads a veteran crew that is focused on an SEC championship. It's Florida and Auburn from the Alabama Plains.
Mississippi State wins. Let's go get caught. Here comes the ball.
Toomer's Corner normally bustling with Auburn students, but not this Saturday night because there's a gymnastics meet to watch, and it's taking place over inside Barrett Eves Memorial Coliseum. Hello and welcome to Auburn University. The Auburn Tigers hosting the Florida Gators, a team the Tigers have beaten the last 2 times inside this Coliseum. More than 2,100 fans, including an excited Tigers cheering section looking to carry their gymnastics squad to its first SEC win this season. Tigers come into the meet 0-2, but determined tonight. I'm Corey Kessler, and there is Auburn coach Jeff Thompson, his 7th year as head coach for the Tigers. And he'll have to rely on his squad tonight, including 3-time all-around title holder Julie Dwyer, last year's Freshman of the Year in the SEC. And Coach Thompson knows one thing: he can count on her leadership qualities.
Julie's a great kid and a great leader on this team. She leads on the floor and in the classroom and in the community. And for her to go out there every night and her teammates be able to count on her to do what she does every day in practice, I mean, that's a great stress reliever for everyone else to know that she's in the lineup or she's anchoring the lineup, that we can count on her. She's one of a kind, and we're glad she's on our team.
Meanwhile, Gators team coach Rhonda Fain getting her team ready for the meet tonight. Let's send it over to our expert analyst, Lori Strong-Ballard.
Well, Corey, the SEC has always been a hotbed for the nation's best incoming talent. And this year, Florida has a hotshot of their own. Corey Hartung was a national team member, and this year was Florida's first freshman in 20 years to win an all-around title in her collegiate debut. She's also posted their top scores on 3 events. Corey has a very unique style, and we're going to see that beauty and elegance on beam and floor, but she can also throw the big skills that'll help her get those high scores in this conference. But we all know team titles aren't won by a single star, and luckily for Florida, they have it all, including experience. Coach, with 5 All-Americans returning, you've got the talent. How far can this team go?
Well, I definitely think the sky's the limit for this team. There is so much talent, but it also is, there is no one superstar, and we're hoping that the depth and the hard work, that it'll pay off in the end. And obviously, we can't also forget that we'd love to be able to have Melanie Sinclair back, at least in one event by the end of the season, which would help a tremendous amount as well.
Well, this competition against Auburn is your 3rd straight SEC matchup. You've seen the top teams, Georgia and Alabama, recently. How can you keep up the intensity, and what are some of the specific goals tonight?
Well, it's obviously difficult being the 3rd meet to be able to put everyone out there on the floor. We obviously have to rest a few athletes tonight because it is hard to be able to keep up the intensity. But our main goal is to obviously go out there and to hit all of our routines, and those routines that we put out there to be as consistent as possible.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Over to you, Natalie.
Thanks, Lori. Auburn, too, has a freshman they can boast about in Lindsey Puckett, already competing in the all-around and has the top scores for Auburn in 2 events. Lindsey's one of many freshmen in the SEC that's already making an impact.
I didn't really know what to expect coming in. Like, I'd been to all my sister's meets, and I'd been to tons of gymnastics meets, and it's just completely different when you actually get out on the floor and you're the one competing, but it's just so much fun.
If the Puckett name sounds familiar, Lindsey Puckett is the younger sister to Courtney Puckett, who is one of the cornerstones for Auburn gymnastics in previous years. Courtney was an All-American, 2-time NCAA championship qualifier. Courtney's went on, graduated from Auburn, and is working in Atlanta. She says that she had nothing to do with why Lindsey selected Auburn. But don't tell me Courtney wasn't jumping up and down when Lindsey put on the Auburn leotard. Corey, back up to you.
Thanks, Natalie. I'm sure Courtney will be pulling for her little sister. It's the Auburn Tigers and the Florida Gators when we come back. Welcome back to Baird Eves Memorial Coliseum on the campus of Auburn University. The Auburn Tigers, come on down and grab a seat. Cheer on your Tigers as we check out the lineup for the first rotation on the vault, Lori.
The Tigers are much improved on this event. Their start values are where they need to be. They want 5 or 6 start values of a 10.0, and they had a season high versus Alabama on this event, 49.425.
And that's Carmen Pickney on the vault. Let's see what she has in her first rotation, the sophomore out of Simpsonville, South Carolina.
Performing one of the most popular vaults in collegiate gymnastics, the Yurchenko layout with a full twist, little step on the landing. To maximize their scores, they want to be able to stick those landings. That's a mandatory 1/10 deduction on the landing, but a strong vault itself. The Yurchenko style vault starts off with that round off onto the springboard. She has a back handspring onto the vaulting table, a layout with a full twist. Start value is 10, score 9.8, not bad.
Not bad at all. As we look at the scores of Florida bars, that's the lineup here. Tiffany Murray, Nicola Willis, Corey Hartung. We know a lot about that freshman, but first off, it's Nicola Willis.
A great experienced gymnast. She competed at the 2004 Olympics and many international events for Great Britain. She had shoulder surgery and ankle surgery last year, so now she is finally coming back and strong. She has competed in the all-around this year, but Rhonda has chosen to rest her a little bit in this competition. This is the only event we'll see her on. So far with a solid routine. Gaining speed for the dismount. It's a difficult one. A double layout, a little short on the landing. Takes that step.
Gets the high fives from her teammates and her coaches. Look at the replay. Tell us again about this dismount, Lori.
That's a giant full into her release move, actually. It's a very crucial part of the routine. That's where she gets most of her difficulty.
Teammates approve, and there's her score, 9.775. Next up is Lindsey Puckett, the freshman from Lilburn, Georgia.
This is a great event for Lindsey. She's a powerful athlete that always helps on the vault. Doing the Yurchenko layout full, nice pop into the air, just that step on the landing. And if you notice, there is a difference in the vaulting table this year. The Auburn Tigers have chosen to use this new style of vaulting table. Has a different texture to it, almost a basketball-type material on top. There's also a denser foam under there. It really allows them to pop up into the air. We won't see this vault at every dual meet this year. It's not a mandatory equipment change, but Lindsey tells me that it certainly helps her vault.
A lot coming up. We're just getting started at Baird Eves Memorial Coliseum. Fabulous Gator freshman Corey Hartung on bars and vault, plus 3-time all-around champ Julie Dwyer when we come back. Welcome back to Auburn, Alabama. Corey Kessler, Lori Strong-Ballard, and Natalie Taylor bringing you the meet. And there are fans of all ages and sizes, and those are the Florida Gator fans, and they get to watch freshman Corey Hartung, Lori, right now.
A beautiful gymnast on this event. She scored 9.9 against Alabama. Giant full bail to handstand on the low bar. The athletes are looking to hit those handstand positions. The judges are definitely being more strict and taking deductions if the handstands are missed. Gearing up for the dismount, back in, full out, tiny hop on the landing, a very good routine.
Just a freshman, Lori, that was impressive.
That's a Stalder blind. This is her major release move. It's called a Horkina. It's named after Svetlana Horkina, one of the best bar workers in the world.
Looks like Coach Fain is pleased with that effort, still a 1/10 of a point below her season high. All right, how about a flashback for you now? Last year's Southeastern Conference Freshman of the Year, Julie Dwyer, such grace and elegance on the balance beam here. And if you ask her, she has more confidence now because a difference in a year.
I think my freshman year, I didn't really know what to expect. I went into every meet, I'd never seen the school or the arena and had no idea what I was up against. And this year I'm more relaxed. I know what's coming, I know what to expect. There's also more of a leadership role this year, trying to help with all our freshmen that are competing in every event. And it's good, it's different, but I'm more relaxed and calm this year.
Take a look at the previous Freshman of the Year, the last 3 years. Lori, tell us about it.
Well, if history repeats itself, Julie should have a good career ahead of herself. Both April and Kelsey have really taken that Freshman of the Year honor and ran with it. They are among the top gymnasts in the country right now.
And here she is, Julie Dwyer on the vault, Lori.
A different style of vault than we've seen tonight, the Yurchenko half front layout. It's also scored out of a 10, but personally I think that this vault is more difficult to land.
Tell us one more time, the Yurchenko half front layout.
Round off onto the board. She reaches back blindly onto the vaulting table, does a half and a front in a layout position. It's difficult to land because you don't see the floor before the feet hit, unlike the full twist where you can actually see the floor before that landing, so you can really stick it.
A 9.775. Congratulations from her teammates.
Yes, you did.
And we look now at the Auburn team vault score after the first rotation, led off by Lindsey Puckett.
48.95 is a pretty good score, but they really want to be up in those 49s to be competitive in this conference.
Okay, now it's Samantha Lutz on the bar, the junior from Grove City, Ohio, Lori.
She's an amazing athlete on this event. Rhonda says she has a really natural swing. See her major release move there, a Ginger. Healy straddle back to handstand. Again, looking to hit those handstands in the vertical position. Sam has a huge dismount planned, one of the most difficult elements in this competition. Double layout with a full twist, just moves that foot slightly on the landing. What a great routine.
Very impressive. We have to see that replay after she gets the high five from her teammates. Once again, Lori, I heard the excitement in your voice. Tell us about the dismount here.
You knew something big was coming with the speed of the Giant. She does 2 rotations in the laid out position. What makes it more difficult is she adds that full twist in the second rotation.
A 9.825 for her efforts, and Samantha Lutz is the top scorer for Florida in the first rotation.
A good performance by the Gators, but the judges are being very strict with the deductions. They have to be judging every dual meet as if it's the first day of nationals.
And we'll see if they can fight back as Auburn takes the early lead. Welcome back to Auburn University. Yes, life is good for the Auburn Tigers as they hold a slim lead over the Florida Gators. After a strong vault routine, Lindsey Puckett is gearing up for the rest of her competition. Let's send it over now to Natalie Taylor, who's standing by with Lindsey's sister.
Thanks, Corey. Remember Courtney Puckett, a cornerstone for Auburn Gymnastics in the previous years, NCAA All-American, 2-time invitee to the NCAA Championships. Courtney, you're used to performing, so what's it like up in the crowd to watch your sister wearing the Auburn uniform?
Well, honestly, it's quite nerve-wracking. When I used to compete, I didn't get nervous. I loved it. I loved putting on the show. When I get my sister, watching her, my hands are sweating. I'm getting really nervous. I'm the edge of my seat, and it's quite different. If I had the option, I would definitely be competing right now.
Well, Courtney, set the record straight. Lindsey swears that you had nothing to do with her choosing Auburn. But don't tell me that you weren't jumping up and down in your backyard when you found out she signed with Auburn.
Oh, I definitely was. Another 4 years of Puckett is what I've heard around here. But definitely, I told Lindsey, I was like, it's your decision. 4 years of your life is a big commitment to spend it at college. Make sure you like the coaches, make sure you like the team. It's really important.
Well, from one excited fan onto an exciting meet. Corey, back up to you.
Thank you, Natalie. Indeed exciting as we look now at the lineup for the Tigers. Lori on bars.
Well, Auburn graduated 2 gymnasts who were mainstays and hard to replace in this bar lineup. Jeff says their lack of depth could be felt on this event, but remember, they do have the lead. They've built some confidence after vault, and I'm a firm believer in building momentum.
And this is Julie Dwyer on the bars.
Giant full major release move is a Tkachev. That gives her difficulty and combination bonus. If they meet the requirements, then they're looking for 5/10 in bonus to give them that 10-0 start value. Big dismount, double layout, hop on the landing. There will be deduction there, but a solid routine. She's happy with that performance.
And so is her coach. Let's look at the replay, Lori.
This is the release move I was talking about, the Tkachev. Pretty good height, good distance. She has plenty of swing heading into the straddle back to handstand.
And her teammates approve a 9.80 for the sophomore from Bloomington. So how will Rhonda Fain's crew respond? Well, they're going into an event where they scored a season high in their last meet, the vault, as we look at the lineup.
I'd say Florida and Auburn are equal in terms of their difficulty and start values, and where Florida can pick up ground here is by sticking their landings.
And Corey Hartung, the freshman that we know so much about, will be up next. Let's listen to Rhonda Fain talk about it.
She's able to show a different side of gymnastics. We're so used to seeing so much of the, the quick and the powerful. And, she really brings this beautiful side with flexibility and artistic, her dance and everything. It's just really refreshing to see.
And let's see what she does on the vault, Lori.
Corey is a little bit more of a slower twitched athlete, but she still manages quite well on this event. You'll see that Yurchenko style vault again. Yurchenko layout full and a great landing. We talked about them hitting those finer details, sticking the landings. They can pick up at least a 10th on Auburn per vault if they stick their landings.
And she did just that here, didn't she?
Really looking for an explosive push off that vaulting table to give her enough time in the air to complete that rotation and a full twist. She did pike down slightly.
A 9.825 for her efforts. Next up, Amy Goheen, the sophomore from Kirkland, Washington, for the Auburn Tigers.
Amy's one of Auburn's top bar workers. She competed at the NCAAs, which, by the way, were hosted by Auburn in this arena. Beautiful, precise handstand work. Nice Eagle Giants, half out. Here's the dismount, double tuck, and a solid landing for Auburn.
Wow. Just watching it, it's poetry in motion, Lori.
There's not a huge amount of difficulty. You're not seeing those major sky-high release elements that we've seen in some of the other routines, but everything she did was clean and precise.
A 9.775 for Amy Goheen. Much more to come from Auburn University. Tape up, get ready to go. Tiffany Murray on the vault when we come back. Welcome back. The action picking up here in Auburn, Alabama, as we vault our way to the Florida Gators. This is Ashley Reed, Lori.
On this event, one vault, one attempt. It's only a single skill, so the importance is on the landing. To maximize the score, they need to stick the landings. Again, scored out of a 10. Yurchenko layout full, a tiny scuffle of the feet, a half a tenth to a 10th deduction there.
As we look at the replay, the Psych major from Davie, Florida, just a sophomore.
Judges are looking for a couple things here. They want to see great amplitude, the height and the distance, the position of the body in the air, a nice tight laid out position, and then of course the landing.
A 9.875 for Ashley Reed. Now we move to the bars. Carmen Pickney for the Auburn Tigers.
We talked about Jeff being concerned with their lack of depth here. This is an athlete who normally isn't in this lineup. So we'll see what she can put together for the Tigers. Lined, front giant half. Crucial skill here to Tkachev, and her hands are on the bar. Feeling good. Straddle back to handstand. You can see she's thinking through this routine, building momentum, big dismount, full in, back out. Great job.
Impressive. Congratulations from all of her teammates. Selected to the SEC Academic Honor Roll last year. Hey, this is something to honor. What a dismount, huh, Lori?
Everyone's having a big sigh of relief. Again, someone that is not usually in their lineup, but because of injuries and a few athletes being dismissed from the team, they're having to reach deep and pull off the bench, and Carmen comes through for the Tigers.
And she did a 9.80, and after the second rotation, she is tied with SEC Freshman of the Year last year, Julie Dwyer, at this meet. Next up, Tiffany Murray on vault. The sophomore from Orlando.
A very powerful gymnast who really shows off on this event and the floor exercise, those power events. Yurchenko layout full, another pretty strong landing.
As we look at the replay, the landing impressed you the most on this, Lori, is that right?
Well, Tiffany really gets extreme height on her vault, almost so much that she lacked a little bit of rotation. Did have to pike down. There will be a small deduction there, but a clean vault and a good score, 9.875.
So Murray and Reed putting up the top vault scores of the meet, giving the Florida Gators a slim edge over the Auburn Tigers. We'll be back in mere moments for the third rotation. Don't go anywhere. It's just getting interesting. Welcome back to beautiful Auburn University for the Auburn Tigers and the Florida Gators. The Gators holding a slim edge. Corey Kessler along with Lori Strong-Ballard and Natalie Taylor. Let's kick it over to Natalie Taylor now. She's standing by with Auburn coach Jeff Thompson.
Thanks, Corey. Coach Thompson, when we talked with you earlier, you talked about getting your girls on the right foot, so to speak, creating a tear. Obviously, that first event had the slim lead, keeping it close after the second round. Is that what's happening tonight?
Yeah, we were a little disappointed that we had so many steps on our vault landings. I looked over and it looked like every time Florida did a vault, they were sticking it, and I think that's the difference in the meet right now. Our kids stepped up huge on bars. That's where we've been having our problems lately. And I'm so proud of Carmen Pinckney going last and rocking that great routine. That's what she does in the gym every day, and up until now hasn't been able to do it in competition. And you know, this could be the role that we need to get on to take the Gators. Let's see.
Well, let's see the Florida lineup right now for the floor routine, starting with Katie Rue. Lori.
Part of Rhonda's season plan this year was to add some more difficulty early in the season and stick with it. And this is one of those events that they have increased their difficulty this year. Although they did struggle with some of the landings at their last competition against Georgia. They had 4 out of bounds. So they'll be looking to improve on that here.
And this is Samantha Lutz floor routine.
Opening with a 2.5 twist punch front. You can see her looking to the corner, trying to stay in bounds. A step out of bounds is a mandatory 1/10 deduction off the top score. Sam's routine is choreographed by one of her teammates, Tracy Rye. Small mistake there on her front tumbling. A little bit low on that second salto element. She covered it nicely, and there really won't be that much of a deduction.
Got a spunky feel to it.
She really is a beautiful performer on this event. There's the Gator Chomp. There's one in every Gator routine. Very important on those twisting jump combinations to complete the twist, whether it be a full or a 1.5 twist, in order to get the full bonus and the credit for the difficulty. Final tumbling pass at the big one, a double tuck and a solid landing. Nice routine.
And a kiss goodbye to end off the routine. Her teammates approve. Let's see the replay, and then we'll find out her score.
The Gators really need this kind of difficulty in every single one of their routines, ending with a D-level skill, a double back, one of the toughest skills that you can perform, especially at the end of a very intense floor routine.
A 9.775. Now it's time for Corey Hartung. We know how good she is, Lori.
And we talked about her unique style. We saw that right from the starting position of this routine, opening with a triple twist, an E-level skill, 2/10 a bonus there.
Her hobbies include arts and crafts. Best part of gymnastics, she says, Lori, is winning.
Winning is nice, and the Gators right now have the lead, and they can make up ground here. Just amazing flexibility with this athlete, almost like a rhythmic gymnast, actually. Of course, in terms of choreography, you really want to do some of those elements that play up your finer points, and for her, that's the flexibility and the lines. Dancing and working nice and high on the toe.
Says she wants to become a teacher. I'm sure there's a lot of young gymnasts out there who can learn a lot from Corey Hartung.
Final pass is as difficult As the opening pass, it's a front tumbling pass, a front double twist, an E-level skill. An amazing freshman for the Gators, putting in a good performance just when they need it.
One more time, the replay across the mat.
Rhonda talked about that big difficulty. She opens with an E-level skill, a triple twist. The judges want to see all 3 twists completed, and she ended with an E-level skill. More difficulty seems to be on everyone's mind. Taking a look at Auburn's beam lineup, Jeff Thompson knows to be competitive with the rest of the nation, they have to throw the big stuff, especially on beam.
Sometimes when you're the almost made it to nationals team, you're not looked at in the same light as teams that are always there. And so we feel like if we go out and we do a higher skill level, they have to recognize our routines for what they are. They can't take a not up to the level of competition deduction. So at the beginning of the season, all 6 of our beam routines had 3 flight. And there are probably no other teams in the country that are doing that right now this early in the season, and we're very proud of that.
And he can be proud of Shanna Summerow here, the 5'5" junior from Anderson, South Carolina. Majors in exercise science, Lori.
Jeff said this routine would be a key hit for them. She's the leadoff performer. She needs to set the tone for the rest of the team. A great start with that tumble series, back handspring layout, layout. A very appropriate gymnast to have as their leadoff performer on beam. She earned the Rock Award last year after hitting 95% of her routines. She also made an impressive comeback last year after shredding her Achilles tendon at a dual meet that we actually covered against LSU her freshman year.
How do you come back from that?
A lot of hard work, a lot of rehab. Also an important mental comeback as well. Great routine for Shanna. Good start for the Auburn Tigers.
Hugs abound on that routine. Look at the dismount once again.
Round off, double twist dismount. Pretty strong difficulty in this routine. They talked about increasing that difficulty, doing those triple flight series. We saw the back handspring layout from Shanna, and she starts them off with a 9.75.
She made the difficulty look easy, a 9.750. Okay, here's Lindsey Puckett. We know her sister's in the audience watching her performance.
Competition is close. The pressure is on these athletes. This is a big test for this freshman. Beautiful full turn, leg above horizontal, split jump with a 3/4. And the judges are looking for the amplitude, the full split, 180-degree split in all of those leaps and jumps. Lindsey is impressively calm, heading into her tumble series, back handspring layout. Very aggressive with her arms. She holds on to that tight landing. Assistant coach and beam coach Rochelle Thompson teaches her athletes to be aggressive, to really attack this event, and to have the confidence when they compete.
Showing her confidence here.
One more huge skill coming up. It's the dismount. She warmed up a round off double back. Let's see it. There it is. Double back. Oh, just a step on the landing. But again, another solid routine for the Tigers.
Something Courtney Puckett, her older sister, can be proud of. We'll check the score when we come back. Welcome back. We still have to see Lindsey Puckett's score on beam, and there it is, 9.85 for Lindsey from Lilburn, Georgia. Okay, now we move to Brianne King. She likes to be called Bree, Lori, 5'8" junior for the Florida Gators.
Somewhat of a tall gymnast, very elegant. We're going to see some of that style here on floor. Because of her taller stature, you see her do less of the double salto work and more of this twisting elements. 2.5 twists to a punch front pike. Using the landing mat for precaution. Still early in the season, the coaches need to be aware of what their athletes need. Avoid the injuries now. Keep them strong for the end of the season. Front layout full, front layout full. Bree is always a perfectionist. After every competition, she says that she lays in bed at night and goes over every single one of her routines, looking for something to improve on in practice the next day.
That is work ethic, dedication.
Each one of these athletes are searching for that perfect 10. Improve a little bit on the height, on the amplitude, a little more extension, complete the twist, legs together. All of those little details will make their score go up. Strong routine for the Gators.
We wait now for her score after we see the replay.
Not the huge difficulty we're going to see from some of the top athletes in this conference, but very consistent and solid. And again, Florida's looking for those clean landings. Remember, they had 4 out of bounds against Georgia. They need to clean up the landings.
And now we move to Julie Dwyer. Her top beam score this year, a 9.9. Let's see if she can equal that today.
Julie is the 6th competitor for Auburn. 5 scores count. They can throw away a score, and Auburn does have 5 hits. But she can really improve on their score here. She has the potential of getting those big 9-9s. Opening with an aggressive back handspring layout. Another one of those triple flight series that Jeff mentioned. So important to be throwing those high difficult skills to make them stand out.
She seems focused, Lori.
Extremely aggressive and focused. Big skill here. Front tuck. Nice job. Again, not only does she have the difficult flight series, but she added a little bit more by putting in that D-level salto. Not a single wobble so far, just the dismount, sticks the landing, legs glued together. Boy, you can't get much better than that.
That'll bring a smile to her teammates and everyone in the audience. One more time on the replay.
Very composed throughout this entire routine. She almost over-rotates this front just a little bit, takes that small step forward, brings the arms up aggressively, and avoids any wobble.
A 9.925, so she does best, her season best on the beam. And after the 3rd rotation, Julie Dwyer, a 9.925 with that effort. Tops for the Auburn Tigers. Back to the floor exercise. Tiffany Murray from Orlando. Little spunk, little bounce.
We saw the power that she brought to the vault. We're going to see that again here. Opening with a sky-high full in back out, solid landing, finishing big. Second tumbling pass has a lot in it. This is where she has the potential of going out of bounds because of that front tuck in front of the double back, and yes, she steps out of bounds, a mandatory 1/10 deduction. The same mistake that she had against Georgia. You know, it's still fairly early in the season. There's plenty of time to really work on some of those small mistakes. And luckily for Florida, they are small mistakes. Those are adjustments that they can make in the gym, but it's also an adjustment that she needs to learn to make in competition. Sometimes when you're competing and a competition is on the line and close, you have that little extra adrenaline, and that can cause you to over-rotate and to make those tumbling passes just a little bigger.
Is that what happened there when she stepped over the line?
Like I said, she added the front in front of the double back, which makes the tumbling pass just a little bit longer, and sometimes that's hard to keep in bounds, especially if you do have that extra burst of adrenaline. There's the front tuck, round off back handspring, double back, just over-rotates it slightly. You can see it's just a difference of about a foot or so.
Well, let's see what she came up with on her score. 9.7 for Tiffany Murray.
I think so.
So after 3 rotations on the floor exercise, Corey Hartung has the lead for the Florida Gators with a 9.90. As we move to the overall scores after 3 rotations, the Florida Gators hold a slim lead. We'll see if the Auburn Tigers can fight back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Barrett East Memorial Coliseum. The Auburn Tigers looking for a little boost as they trail by a slim margin to the Florida Gators. Here's the lineup for Beam. Ashley Reed leads them off for Florida, followed by Kate Rue and Corey Hartung. And there's Corey Hartung, our top Beam scorer in 2006, a 9.90. Let's take a look back at Corey, Lori.
Corey's had an impressive meet tonight. Looking for that all-around title. She started off strong on the bars, finishing with this strong full in and on vault. Again, very impressive, nailing her vault. Yurchenko layout full, sticks the landing for a big score, but she impressed the judges on floor as well with her big difficulty and incredible flexibility. Enough for a 9.9. Corey's on a roll.
And those are her scores. As you see, the vault, the bars, and the floor. She's leading the all-around going into the final apparatus, which is the beam.
And the Gators have the lead as well heading into this final apparatus. A slim lead, only .175. This is a very good test for this young team. Every high-pressure situation is a learning experience and an important part of the preparation for the pressure cooker of the SEC Championships. Back handspring layout, beautiful form. She really pushes out of those long legs, keeps them nice and straight. Oh, excellent front aerial. And here comes that incredible flexibility and, of course, balance, crucial on this event. Very interesting combination, a tick-tock, an element we rarely see on this event. Into a changement and a sheep jump, so she does get some bonus points there. Switch leap, one arm back handspring, just a small wobble as she steps out, but she's covering up nicely.
All you aspiring gymnasts who want to be like Corey, she's got her own website, CoreyHartung.com. The dismount.
Round off 2.5 twist, good difficulty right to the end of the routine. I like that.
And so does Rhonda Fain. The replay.
This is the front aerial, beautifully done. And of course, that flexibility. Anyone who's aspiring to be like Corey, you have to sit in your splits for many hours a day.
Many, many hard working hours, a 9.80. So the Auburn leaders on the floor exercise, Daniel Holtz, Claire Seifert, Carmen Pickney, and Lindsay Puckett. This is Lindsay, her top floor score this year.
And another one of those hot freshmen in this conference. Starting out on the vault, a strong Yurchenko layout full, steps on the landing, but a very good score to start off her hunt for that all-around title. Continuing to show off her consistency and stableness on this event, two very important traits for an all-around gymnast. You must hit 4 and solid on the balance beam, back handspring, layout, one event to go, and she is very competitive in this all-around.
In fact, she is currently 3rd in the all-around competition. Her final routine, the floor exercise.
Front tuck, round up back handspring, double back. Nice solid landing. We always remember the performances that her sister Courtney gave us on this event. So full of energy, spunk. Lindsay told me, though, that this is an event that she has to work a little bit harder on that aspect of it than her sister did. She has a little bit more difficulty, especially in terms of her backward tumbling.
And she knows her bigger sister is watching.
Whip half front layout, front tuck. She definitely has a lot to live up to. She has to keep that Puckett name strong here in Auburn. But boy, does she have the talent. I have no doubt that she will put in 4 good years for the Tigers. Finishing strong, nice difficulty with a double pike. And already mastering that smile. A strong routine. It will certainly help the team score. I'm not sure if it'll be enough to take that all-around title away from Corey, who has the lead right now. We'll have to see.
Her sister wants a 10. We'll have to see if she gets that mark as we see the replay of her floor exercise.
2 double salto passes, including this opening front tuck, round back handspring, double back.
And there it is, a 9.85 for Lindsay Puckett. Rhonda Fain still having fun at Gatorland, keeping it light. We'll be back in a minute. Welcome back. This is Julie Dwyer, last year's Freshman of the Year, and she has been impressive today.
Julie's in a hunt for her 4th all-around title in a row. Most impressive on her first event, vault, and put in a solid performance on this event, bars, giant full Tkachev, hitting all her release moves, but just incredible on balance beam, back handspring layout, solid and aggressive for a career high 9.925. And now, last event, floor exercise, a strong one for her, and she needs a 9.85 to take the lead from Florida's Corey Hartung. Double pike, beautiful position in the air, nice tight pike position. It's been spectacular to watch Julie all night. She's really having a good time, and that's been key for Jeff, is to make sure that his team is enjoying themselves, having a good time, because he feels they'll be relaxed and really put in their best performance. And boy, have the Tigers been strong tonight. 2.5 punch front. Really well done. She keeps her legs glued together through the 2.5 twists and in the front tuck.
Seems to have the energy. Seems she knows she needs that 9.85 to win her 4th overall title at this meet.
Of course, for every athlete here, the most important win will be the team win, but it's also bragging rights to say, hey, I won the all-around title against, especially some top teams. She won the all-around title against Alabama, and now possibly a good enough performance to win it against Florida.
In front of the home crowd, she has to be pleased with that effort. One more time as we look at the replay, Lori.
Very strong tumbling here. Front full, punch front layout, nails the landing. Very good job in keeping her legs together. Very few deductions, strong score.
And there she has it, 9.875. She will win her 4th overall title at this meet. Julie Dwyer after the 4th rotation, 9.875, followed by Lindsay Puckett. And we move on to the beam and Chantel Tusick.
Chantel is competing for the Gators for the first time this year. She has competed in exhibition, but now the Gators are depending on her score to get the team win. Handstand, back handspring layout, and she's solid. Gymnastics runs in her family. Her older sister was a 2000 Olympian on the Canadian team, competed at UCLA, and was a national champion on bars.
The team hangs in the balance.
You can hear her teammates cheering her on the side, saying, come on, Telly. They all have nicknames. College gymnastics, such a wonderful sport in terms of the team camaraderie and support. She's a phenomenal dancer. Very elegant and precise in every element. And the dismount, handstand, back handspring, layout with a 1.5 twist, a solid routine. Will it be good enough for the Gators to take this win?
Her teammates certainly hope so. The junior from Cambridge, Ontario, one more time in slow motion.
A very aggressive punch front, a little off on the landing. She adds the changement jump, which gives her bonus points, and boy, what a tough save.
And there's the score for Chantel Tusick, 9.8.
First time competing, and she hits her collegiate best, and that's enough.
49.025 team score on the beam for the Gators, but will it be enough for Rhonda Fain's team to win the competition? And Rhonda Fain's team can smile because they do edge out the Auburn Tigers. Let's send it over to Lori with the winning coach.
Thanks, Corey. Coach, you told us earlier that it was important to take this time of the year to rest some of your key athletes and to change up the lineup a little bit, but yet you still came away with the win.
Yes, I'm very happy that we performed as well as we did with some of our key athletes resting tonight. They're tired. It's already 5 meets in, and we need to rest some athletes so that we can sustain the season. They came together as a team. They were very confident, very calm, and I was very pleased with how those that came in stepped up, and everyone performed really well.
Heading into the final rotation balance beam, the competition was close, yet you still were able to put together a solid performance. Are you pleased with them there?
Very pleased. That really makes me happy to see that this team is so strong mentally that they actually thrive on a situation like that, and that was probably the most aggressive they've performed, I think, all year. And Chantel, going in the lineup for the first time all year in the 5th position, did a great job, so I'm really happy with how they did.
So where do you go from here?
Well, we need rest. Going to give them a few days off so that they can recuperate and get ready for our next home meet. And we really just have to get a little bit more consistent with the landings on our floor, stay in bounds, and make everything just a little bit bigger.
Well, rest up. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Back to you, Corey.
Thanks, Lori. Rhonda Fain's crew wins the competition, and Julie Dwyer wins the all-around. Standing by with Julie is our own Natalie Taylor.
Julie Dwyer, SEC Freshman of the Year, 4th all-around title in a row. Now, there's supposedly a sophomore curse, but that surely hasn't played into effect with you. You're setting the bar up there pretty high.
Thank you so much. It was so exciting tonight. I wish the team could have won, but it was a great performance under all the adversity we had this week, and I was just really proud of everyone.
Speaking of problems this week, you had to fight through some health issues tonight, especially during bars. You were still able to rock it. How'd you work through it?
I didn't feel very good, but I tried to go back to the gym and feel like I was just at practice, and I've done these routines a million times, so it was all right.
Definitely the sickness did not hold her back. 4th time in a row, Julie Dwyer all-around champion. Corey, back up to you.
Thanks, Natalie. Outstanding performance for the Florida Gators. Once again, Julie Dwyer, 4th straight all-around title. Unbelievable. Next week we'll be in Bama, but from Auburn University, for Lori Strong-Ballard and Natalie Taylor, I'm Corey Kessler. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week from Tuscaloosa.